Right, so in this video we're going to be looking back at the previous games gone by between Sunderland versus Newcastle. It's been 53 wins each, 49 draws. Now if somebody wins on Saturday, Stephen, they take the lead in the Wear-Tyne Derby.
Wear-Tyne at our place, Tyne Wear at their place.
But
yeah, 53 wins each, 49 draws. So someone could finally take the lead again after this Saturday's game. But in this video, like Paul said, we're going to look back over the last 25 years of the Sunderland victories in the Sunderland Newcastle games.
Well, why we won't look at their games, to be honest. But before we do, hit the thumbs up
And subscribe if you're new.
Right, Alan and Stephen, let's kick things off. What game are we visiting?
Well, we're going to go back to the start, 25 years ago. Let's more iconic one, and also for YouTube people, it's also an easy one to get the video footage for. Because if you go much further back, there wasn't such thing as camera phones.
No.
But hey, 25th of August 1999. Really dear St James's Park as always.
But they're still smiling.
And listen, Newcastle took the lead 1-0 at half time. I think it was Kieran Dyer who scored their goal. And then Niall Quinn popped up with an equaliser.
And headed on, and it's in.
And then Super Kevin Phillips, who else?
Aye.
Went forward, got played through, went forward, took the shot. Shea Given saved it, and it went off to the angle to the edge of the 6-yard box. And he ran, spun it, hit it first time, lobbed Given. Given was just left. He jumped in the air, just clutching at nothing, and it went over and it went in. And that was 2-1 win. First win we'd had in a while, to be fair. I'm not there's 8 to 9 and it was.
No,
but that was the first 2-1 victory that we had, which spurred us on for the next year as well.
Like I said, mate, you've got a feminine touch. Right, now the next game was quite a while ago and all. It was in November the 18th, 2000. And we beat them 2-1 away. Again, aye. We're getting a habit of that around about that time, aren't we? But anyway, they opened the scoring 1-0 through Gary Speed, God rest his soul. But in the second half, Don Richardson made it 1-1.
Long way then the other. He's got room for the cross. And Hutchison, it's 1-1.
Then Mickey Gray puts an absolute beautiful ball in for Sir Niall Quinn. And like Stephen says, he rose like a salmon and headed it past the keeper.
Gray hits the cross and Quinn, it's 2-1 Sunderland.
But he went from hero nearly to zero not long after that. If you can all remember the penalty, he tried to do defensive duties and he gave away a penalty.
Robley taking the ball on, tackle there from Quinn.
And Tommy Sorensen saved it.
Liable from the penalty spot. Oh, Sorensen has saved it.
He saved that penalty.
One of the funny things about that one as well is that years later, well, in fact it was last year, Shearer was doing one of his podcasts with Gary Lineker and Michael Richards.
Aye.
And they spoke about it, and Shearer even lied and said that he missed the penalty. He says that it still hasn't come down now. No, Alan. Tommy saved your penalty because it was shocking. Next game we're going to mention is the 25th of October in 2008. Now I was sitting where the Mags are sitting this week for this game, and I remember it very, very well. At the final whistle went, I actually sat down and cried.
I think I was in there next to the dugout on this one.
Well, I remember I was, because I was at the top, I was just below the Black Cats bar, which we shall not talk about. And then, like I say, it was 2-1 again. Jibril Cisse put Son in the head with a slap. The ball came across, a lovely ball in, and he slid in and tapped it in.
Steve Malbronk into the penalty area.
Then they equalised with the Muckham Slayer, Shola Ramiobi, to make it 1-1. And then possibly one of the most beautiful free kicks I've ever seen in the history of football. Kieran Richardson inside the D at the edge of the box, wall in front of him. Shea Given stood there. And Richardson just ran forward and he just hit this with such ferociousness that it went through the wall and it hit the back of the net before Shea Given even moved.
See what he does. It's Richardson! It's a rocket!
And it was just fantastic. Every image you see of this, you've got Shea Given like arched, look, just watching the ball fly in or burst in the net. And yeah, we won that game 2-1. Richardson's free kick, it was phenomenal. And it was also Sunderland's first home victory against the Mags in 28 years.
And Kieran Richardson tried to replicate that many a times after, and he never ever could.
But I'm just glad that the one that worked was the against them.
You know. Right, so now we're going to talk about the 6th in a row, the 14th of April 2013. Probably is one of my best ever Derby Day games, this one, Stephen. We beat them 3-0 away. It was goals from Sessegnon, God took Messi and Pellier. They mixed the two to make one. And who did they come up with?
Stefan Sessegnon.
There you are. He gets the ball, he runs at them, they're just backing off, edge of the box, bang, pulls the trigger, and the keeper was... I miss Sessegnon, Stephen.
So do
I really miss him. Then it was Adam Johnson's goal. He come down the right-hand side, cuts inside, puts it around the keeper.
Basically like Jack Clark, but on the other side.
On the other side. Then your favourite goal of the day, Vaughan.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about this one.
The David Vaughan goal, it was just fantastic. I mean, the game was done and dead and buried. We kept on pushing at them. And then we won the ball and then we played it. David Vaughan just pulled away to the left-hand side and the ball got played to him and he was on his own and he had space. He took his first touch, just pushed in front of him, just inside the box, the 18-yard box, but out wide. And he just hit it with the outside of his left boot and it just curled. And it couldn't have been any more top corner if it tried.
No.
And I believe it was Tim Cullen goal. He was just stood there going,
didn't have a chance.
wow. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually stood there and applauded it.
I know.
You know what I mean? But no, it was fantastic. And another thing that game is famous for, Paul?
Dirty knees.
I want dirty knees too. Paulo Di Canio, possibly the only good thing he did whilst he was our manager. But we got the job done. And that was the game that kicked off the 6 in a row. Next one, and the second one in the 6 of the row accomplishment, was 27th of October 2013. Another 2-1 victory for Sunderland. This time it was big old Stephen Fletcher. Very early in the game, it was the 5th minute of the game. Cross came in. Fletcher rose like a salmon at the back post and just nutted it in. Sending the stadium-like crowd
Singing.
Absolutely wild.
He scores when he wants.
He scores when he wants. Stephen Fletcher. He scores when he wants. And then Newcastle, in true form, they pulled one back to make a 1-1 with Matthias Debuchy scoring his goal. But then we went through a phase of just scoring bangers. Absolute bangers against them. And this one was Fabio Borini. The Mags hated him. But Borini got the ball, he ran on, he played a 1-2 with Altidore. Some say he meant it. Personally, I think it was still a bad touch by Altidore, but it worked out as a 1-2. And then Borini just pushed it away, hit it with his outside of his boot from the centre of the 18-yard box, out to the centre of the D. And it was always curling away from the keeper, and it just burst the back of the net.
Finds Colback. Altidore leaves it to Borini!
And that was, I think it was his first goal for Sunderland. And that was the first time we saw the
I was just about to say
celebration.
I love that celebration.
Let's say the crowd was wild, we were buzzing, and I probably cried at that match as well. You know what I mean? But that was the second in the 6, so that was the second in the 6 in a row. 2-1, Fletcher and Borini won the strike.
Right, now rewinding back to the 1st of February 2014, Sunderland beat them at their place again 3-0, and these were some good goals. Right, but and I remember Fabio Borini's penalty, not so much for the penalty, his celebration.
And Borini powers it in to give Sunderland the advantage.
Ian Bardsley, who else was it?
Marcus
Alonso climbed on the advertisement and he was giving it his celebration and just shouting up at the Sunderland supporters right in front of the Mags. Then AJ scored the second.
By himself, Colback tries to, it's deflected, chance here for Johnson.
But
I think the talking point when you look back at the game is the next goal.
Is Jack Colback's.
Jolly bastard.
He scored and then he shushed his on and he played for them the next season.
This is Colback! All over now!
Yeah.
And he made it 3-0 for us, but he gave them all that.
It was a hell of a strike, to be fair, by Colback. Hit it across the keeper and there was no stopping it. And it went in and then, like I say, he ran round St James's going shh. And then 6 months later we signed for them.
And him and out the door after the game on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
They were, right. So, hey. And then, to be fair, we did thank Colback for that when he came back to the stadium the next season. In the following game we're going to talk about. Next one, another one at St James's Park, which we thought wasn't going to be a victory. However, injury time in the game, it's 0-0. Atmosphere was still being booming all game. Newcastle had a corner in injury time and they whipped the corner in, and Will Buckley headed it clear. Sunderland then broke away with the ball, running forward, using every last bit of energy they had. I believe it might have been Larson who was running away with the ball. We played it in, he gave it back to Johnson. Johnson then played it to Fletcher, who was out wide on the in-yard box. He crossed it over to Will Buckley, who got himself up the other end of the pitch, like he teleported. And then most people would have took a touch and then had a shot straight away. Will Buckley laid it off to Adam Johnson, who then let it bounce once, left foot volley in the back of the net, and you can hear the roar. From London, from the Sunderland fans, it was absolutely immense.
It was carnage in that away end. It was limbs all over the not end. Probably the best I've ever remembered.
Well, I think AJ, when he celebrated, he ran the length of the pitch to get in front of the Sunderland fans.
It was unbelievable.
And after that game was when the players stayed back for years because the Sunderland fans got held in the ground, and the Sunderland players were running the length of the pitch and then doing Klinsmans in front of them all. But that was the fourth game in the 4 in a row. Another win at St James's Park.
Seb Larson again. Right, now we're moving on to April the 5th, 2015. And this one is Jermaine Defoe's went on record saying this was his most favourite memorable goal of all time. The occasion, the moment, everything was building up inside of him. And when he pulled the trigger, he burst out crying. He couldn't...
But he said he was that tired. He said he busted gut for the full first half because this was at the very end of the first half, wasn't it? He said he busted gut, he put everything into it and he was knackered. So he said normally he would never have tried a left foot volley from that far.
Well, the ball, it was Pantilim on. He clears it upfield. Fletcher sort of flicks it to his right. And now is Defoe watching it come down and just hits it first time on his volley.
Defoe! Oh!
He said he knew as soon as that left his foot, it was gone in. And Tim Krul, walking down the tunnel, even congratulated him.
He did, fair play. I mean, Tim Krul's actually a nice bloke. He's one of a good mate of mine. He knows Tim Krul and he does a lot for him and his son.
For charities.
But it was Defoe's first derby game. He said he'd never experienced anything like it, and that was his favourite ever goal. And the next game we're going to talk about, 25th of October 2015, which was the 6th game in the 6 in a row. I don't think we've mentioned the 6 in a row.
We haven't, no.
Well, this one was at the Stadium of Light. Adam Johnson put us 1-0 up just before half time. After we got a dubious penalty, but you know me, I never argue with the refs. Colaccini brought down, I can't remember who he brought someone down. He gave us the penalty and Colaccini got sent off. Which
Fletcher?
Was it Fletcher? Well, there you go. Which ultimately changed the game. But Johnson
Goal!
put the penalty away, sent us into half time, 1-0 up. And then in the second half, we kind of controlled the game as you imagine we would against 10 men. Billy Jones got in the end of a cross by sliding at the back post and sliding it in. To put us 2-0 up. And then my favourite goal of that game by far was that we went out in a bit of a break and Yunus Kabul turned into prime David Beckham.
He did.
He ran out with the ball. He ran out. He just went on a run and then he got played the ball and he crossed this ball in. Like David Beckham, he would have been proud of it. I'm pretty sure David Beckham watches highlights of Yunus Kabul crossing this ball. And Fletcher came into the back post, left foot volley, past the keeper to make it 3-0.
Right, that's it from me and Stephen. Looking back at the last 25 years of Sunderland versus Newcastle.
Well, the Sunderland wins anyway.
Well, the Sunderland wins anyways. Comment below what your best goal out with the bunch was. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new.
And let's see what happens on Saturday. Oi, lads!